Hi homies, I'm gonna talk quietly again, you know the drill. I feel like you can barely see my face. Okay, I'm gonna be painting and just talking, I think. Yeah, I'm like out of blue paint, so I'm using like neon paint right now, currently. I don't know, y'all, like, I also like desperately need new paint, but I've decided, like, pretty much, okay, let me find my brushes, BRB. What if I started editing my videos? That would be nuts. That'd be nuts. I really want to step up my career game. I'm really into, I feel like I'm in my life, like, I've kind of found my passions, which is kind of lit. Every time that I've like found my passions, it's been because like some asshole like broke my heart. So not always, I guess. Also just like bad relationships, I don't know why, just like pushes me to find myself. But yeah, like, I don't know, mate, but you know, I had to like rethink where I was going with that for a second. Yeah, I feel like I have my passions in life, and that's like fun and exciting, right? But like, also that previous statement was not true. Like, there have been times where I've been heartbroken and ended up finding my passions, but not always. Yeah. Anyway, I kind of know what I like to do, and I kind of know where my goals are, where I want my career to be. I've always so I haven't always wanted to be an artist. That is not true. As a kid, I feel like I'm living backwards in a way. As a kid, I was way different than I am now. I was way more adult-like and didn't have much joy in my life. And I'm finding my joy, but I always loved art. I always loved reading, but it's just not how I like viewed myself, you know? And I don't even really know how I like saw myself as a kid. But you know, we don't really know ourselves when we're children, because it just takes experience and living through it and learning through how we handle like situations in life, I feel. And that's just kind of like how we learn things. So yeah, I never thought that I was this like artistic kid. I loved art, but my like relationship with art is kind of interesting. In my opinion, pretty much I loved art as a kid. I like fell in love with it, and then pretty much my mom, like, sorry to throw you under the bus, Mom, but this happened. It was like part of my experience. She pretty much, like, me and my sister would do art, and like she would like give us her art stuff, and we would like paint and stuff, and she pretty much just like praised my sister on her art and was like talking about how she's gonna be an artist one day. And my kitty is not happy, and I got and she like ignored my art completely, and I got very discouraged because yeah, my mom wasn't saying anything nice about my art. And also, this is so messed up, but like, I come from like a very traumatic childhood, so literally when in preschool, like I was such an interesting kid. I don't know. Always just very unique and very authentic to myself. I think every kid is pretty authentic because we don't know how to fake it yet. But we like were coloring in class, and I colored like my entire page black and got a lot of questions about it, and I didn't think it was weird or anything at the time. I was like, this is it's the whole thing is black, like it looks cool, but I don't know if a therapist would say the same thing, you know? But yeah, I got a lot of questions from fellow children and my teachers, I think, for that one. And yeah, that was one experience that I had with art, I guess. And also, so my mom signed me up for art classes when I was a kid, and I think that really, like, at that point when I was like taking art classes, I already lacked the confidence in myself, so like it invited a lot of like criticism from my classmates and stuff like that. But pretty much I really liked I remember when I was signed up for that art class, like I thought I was a good artist. And so I guess that contradicts my most previous statement that I lacked the confidence in myself, because I actually thought I was really good. And I thought I had like my own unique approach. Like I kind of did like a little abstract. Like I was like killing it. Anyway, I would get so much criticism from like my peers and like the people around me. And again, it just like discouraged the living shit out of me. So then I think I kind of stopped for a while. Like, I really let it get to me, and then when I was like going through puberty, I guess I like was going through a hard time, obviously, like just like everyone else. And I started picking up like art again, and in my middle school, like there was an art class, so I took it. And actually, yeah, when I started, I just always felt like I was good at art. Like, I don't know, fuck being humble. Like, I always thought I was good at art. And I think I enjoyed it because I knew that I could do it. And yeah, when I was going through puberty, such a terrible word, like terrible connotations, but I started to, I forgot what it's called. What am I saying? I started to watch YouTube, and I was like really obsessed with Bethany Moda. And simultaneously, I was also like watching anime just because my friend liked anime. So I started drawing Bethany Moda, and then I was also drawing like the little anime characters. My kitty is meowing outside my door, and it makes me sad because I just want to go get him, but just he's got to stay out there, I think. So yeah, because he's gonna want to climb up on this paint and mess up my drawing. He's such a little monster. I love him. Where was I? So I started drawing Bethany Moda. Like I drew a picture of her and I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. And then I drew anime characters. I was like, I'm kind of good at this. Like, and yeah, so I started so I took middle school art classes and actually got into like an art competition, which was like very encouraging. Like my work got submitted and I was like the youngest one there, which is so like me flexing, but yeah, I just felt like encouraged and like yeah, and I enjoyed drawing and stuff. So so all of high school, like every semester of high school, I took an art class every semester. And then like AP came around and my teacher was like, are you sure you want to do AP? Like he was just so skeptical of like letting me in there. And I was just like, yeah, I want to do it. Because like I was like young for taking AP. Like mostly seniors took it, but I was a junior, so I think and he was just like, you know, it's like a lot of pressure, like deadlines, like whatever. I also like in high school, I kind of had this like inferiority complex and also like imposter syndrome when it came to art. Like I just thought that everyone else deserved to be there except for me. And that's something I really struggled with, like taking art in high school. But I also like had this plan, like I almost forgot about this, but I think that yeah, I came into high school with kind of like this group of friends who they just, I don't know, I don't remember how it happened, but, I think I was less focused on relationships and friendships because I was hurt in middle school, and like I just wanted to dedicate myself to my art. And I was planning to have an art degree, and I was like, I'm just gonna take AP when I'm a junior and get my credit in and like graduate from college early and get out of school. Like that was literally always my plan, is like I wanted to get out of school, which is funny because now I am getting into a school that I'm like actually really excited to go, and I want to do like more school, but that was always my plan. I wanted to graduate early. I don't really know why I wanted to so bad. I think I was just miserable because of like my ADD and just my own like confidence in myself. Like I just struggled, but yeah, what am I, where was I? This color is like perfect for what I need right now. So yeah, I had this plan going into high school. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get an art degree, I'm gonna do this and that, and I pretty much planned to get an art degree in high school. I like knew that's what I wanted to do, which is so interesting. And yeah, it's so interesting too because I had this view of life when I was younger, which was so black and white and not the most like empathetic, and I didn't believe in astrology or God or like anything like magical. I just wrote it off. I thought it was like, I looked down on it. I thought I was like better than that and like better than everyone who believed in that. And I realized that's like, not nice to say, but, and maybe not nice to like admit that, but it's just like who I was. And obviously I'm really into astrology and stuff now, and I'm a very like spiritual person, and I believe in like the magical things. But I seriously thought when I was younger that I was like better than anyone who like believed in that stuff. I really looked down on religion and like all of that, and I still don't agree with religion, but I think having a faith is like a very beautiful thing. I feel like I used to think it was like a weakness. I just wasn't the most like, I just didn't believe in things. I was traumatized and had this very black and white approach to life, and just shut off from being an incredibly spiritual kid. I wanted that part of me to go away, I think, because that was the part of me that was very sensitive to everything going on around me, and I didn't want it to be there, so I pretended it wasn't. I think my roommate just got home. But yeah. So that's kind of where that came from. Yeah. What am I saying? So yeah, it was like interesting that I was still, even though I shut that off so much. I was still like into art so much, and like I got into astrology in high school, and like it's just interesting. But like getting into astrology completely opened me up to all that stuff. But I think it was a gradual process of like accepting that part of myself. So that's like kind of where I was at. I just grouped those things together, like art and spirituality and like astrology and tarot, and I feel like it's all connected to this greater thing that's bigger than us. And I'm really thankful that I realized, like, I'm really thankful that I opened myself up spiritually, because it's brought so much depth and like meaning to my life. But yeah, that's kind of the story of how I got into art. Oh yeah, it doesn't end there. Okay, so yeah, my imposter syndrome, lack of confidence in myself, and then my junior year of high school, I got into this relationship, and it was a friendship kind of relationship, but it was complex and very, very abusive and very toxic and traumatizing. And I literally stopped like I like dropped out of art class. And while that was happening, I kind of lost myself, I guess. And yeah, I didn't take art, like, and I just stopped doing it. I stopped doing it for like a while. And then in college, I ended up going in with a psychology degree, and then changing that to like communications. But then I started getting deeper into astrology and tarot. I was always into astrology, like even when I like backed off of art for a while, like I was still like into it, but I wasn't that deep into it. But then like, yeah, I started picking back up. I think I went to Israel one summer and I got really bored, and I downloaded Twitter, and then I saw a lot of like astrology, and I was like, oh, like people getting more into depth and on things that like I never even knew, like people using all this lingo that I've never even heard of. And that was a whole new world for me. And I started getting in deeper and like discovering more about myself and like my birth chart. And it was really cool. Finding out that I'm an Aquarius rising actually like changed my life. So yeah, because I was like, oh my god, I do need freedom. And then I was like, oh my god, this and that are like restricting my freedom. And I was like, we gotta do something about it. So I like made changes in my life, and yeah, astrology's wild, y'all. But yes, I started getting back into that, I started like getting more into tarot. I had like my Mars return. It was very intense for me, that one. Like, I just had another one and it was not as intense, but it still was. But yeah, and yeah, I started getting into tarot, and then COVID hit and I started drawing again. I think during COVID I was journaling a lot, so I started drawing again. And what was I gonna say? I'm all like zoned out, but oh, my little baby. Yeah, I started getting back into art and like listening to this podcast called What's Your Sign, which I listened to today. It's like the best podcast. I really thought I would like get sick of it because I was like binging it, and I was like, I'm just gonna like crash and burn. I'm gonna not be able to stand this anymore. But here I am to this day, and like 2 years later. And yeah, so that's an astrology podcast. So I was getting more into astrology, and like I started reading tarot. I was like connecting with dead people right away. I was just like right away kind of good at tarot. I'm just saying, like, it's just like a thing when you discover your passions in life. You're gonna kind of just naturally be good at them because I don't know, it could have something to do with like past lives and stuff. I feel like I wouldn't doubt that. I feel like maybe if you have done these things in a past life, like you're just, you've already developed them and stuff. But it took a lot out of me to like get into these things, and it's never something I expected of myself. It completely blew my expectations of myself out of, I don't know, like completely like changed the way that I felt about myself. Like these things that were just part of my destiny. But and I just always thought artists were like so cool, like the coolest people in the world. And still to this day, I'm like very attracted to artists. Yeah, but it's because I was one, like, and it's just my instincts like trying to lead me there, I guess. But yeah, where was I going? Okay, so yeah, all that journey kind of led me to start drawing again. For me, like I said earlier, they're kind of connected. So yeah, all this stuff. But yeah, I trying to figure out what I was gonna say. So then COVID was still going on. I decided to change my major. I like got more aligned with my path. I decided to change my major to art. It was like English, or it was like communication. I almost did an English degree, I don't think it would have been a mistake. Like, I love English, but I feel like this is like what I'm meant to do. But yeah, it was like communications, which, because I took interpersonal communications in college, is like a required course, and it was my favorite class I ever took, and I stand by that. That class was like wonderful. But yeah, ultimately, like, I just realized I'm gonna change my major to art. It was this like just gut feeling, and I did, and actually stuck with it for like 2 years, like all of COVID, and now I'm going to an art school, which was always my dream. Like, I wanted to go to an art high school so bad, but I think the closest one was like in Denver, which means nothing to you guys, but it was like 30 minutes away. And there were like no art high schools. I don't think that one was even an art high school. But yeah, now finally, like, my dream comes true, and I'm really excited to go, man. But yeah, I guess that was kind of my journey. I feel like this is a good way to end this. If you're wondering what I'm doing, like, I'm literally just copying this. Like, I'm just like copying that because I'm just like, I just need to draw, and thinking of original ideas is like too much right now for me, and I just want to get some practice in. It's not that deep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I was in a very filming mood today, I guess. I filmed 3 videos, except the first 2 were just like obligatory. I didn't actually want to do them, but this one I just felt like I wanted to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll link my Depop down below because I sell stuff, and I'm gonna be working on that Depop a lot. There's exciting things happening, so I hope you check it out. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.